A non-essential doctrine, or the non-essentials. Puzzling over that. Hey, Richard Myers here. Hey, thank you for joining me. And you know that I have focused almost obsessively on the rapture and the fact that it's coming soon. It's pre-tribulational. and so I watch, obviously because of that, I get YouTube videos on this all the time. And I wanted to just make a point. It's being called in my circles and my brothers and sisters in Christ as a non-essential because it seems difficult to come to a conclusion about the correct position. And in this video, I just want to, first of all, I want to recommend a video, and then I want to just make a point that I think that the case is closed. I don't think there's a capable argument against a pre-tribulational rapture, and there's really one verse which seals the deal. And I just want to, I've made the point already in other videos, but I want to add to it just a couple of things. One is there's a man, Andy Woods. Andy Woods is the senior pastor at Sugarland Bible Church in Texas, and he's also president of the Schaefer Seminary in Albuquerque. And I like this guy. He is, you have to listen carefully. He's methodical in his presentation, but he is a very capable person. And in his Rapture series, number 18, and if you want to spend another hour, number 19, but number 18 gives the arguments for the translation of 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 3, and it's the word apostasia. In this, Paul says, I don't want you to be deceived. In other words, Paul was not acting like this was a non-essential. This was important to them, as it is important to me, because I want to live long enough to be included. But this verse closes the deal. Once it's translated correctly, there can be no argument. The rapture is before the tribulation. And let me add, one of the things that I've put in that I haven't seen anybody else add is I believe that there's an indefinite period of time, albeit maybe fairly short, between the rapture and the beginning of the tribulation. The two are not coincidental, and there's probably weeks, months, and I think it could even be longer, a period of time after we're raptured and the beginning, the specific beginning of the 7-year tribulation period as given to us by the prophet Daniel. Now, this Dr. Woods, and I would like to actually just note that you should go back to Dr. Stanley Ellison, who put this out in the 90s as one of the very early ones, who maybe is not getting credit. But I know Dr. Ellison wrote a fairly lengthy, maybe 20-some pages, and sent it to Dr. Thomas Ice at Liberty University for their pre-tribulational study group or whatever they had there at Liberty. And so really we need to give credit to Dr. Stanley Ellison. And but Andy Woods has made the case very methodically, point by point, for the translation of apostasia as a physical departure, and therefore a direct statement that the rapture, our physical departure, will take place before the tribulation period. And by the way, in his Rapture series, he talks about Wayne House. Wayne was the graduate teaching assistant in my introductory Greek class. He was a couple of years ahead of me. He was a graduate student at that point and was a graduate assistant. They get paid a little bit of money to grade papers, I guess it was. But anyway, so that I know Wayne. And he includes some development that Wayne House did in his presentation there. rapture presentation number 18, and if you, it's about an hour and 5 minutes, and if you have time, the presentation number 19. And I think you just, all of you need to, if you don't believe in a pre-tribulation rapture, or you have some uncertainty regarding the time of the rapture, this closes the door. Now, I wrote 3 or 4 pages trying to make it as short as possible, and I made that available on as an included PDF file, I think on my last, or one of my last posts. And that I included what I think are the, if you take these 10 arguments that Dr. Woods presents, I took the top 3: context, grammar, and you just can't, I mean, there's no argument against these. You have to, I think you have to concede. I don't know. Try to defeat those arguments. It's not possible. The grammar, the nature of the word. I mean, it's the context, of course, and the definite article. The grammar are the 2 most important ones. So anyway, just if anybody has any question about this, this closes the door. There's no question about it. We can be assured, and with Paul, we can be comforted. Hey, I just wanted to add this video very quickly, and hey, God bless you, and we are going to be taken out of this world along with the restrainer, and we'll be with the Lord. Hey, just a brief epilogue. One of the ways that people argue against the points that Andy Woods make is they say, well, we have this expert over here who says, no, it's wrong. The problem is when you go to those experts, they do not answer Andy Woods' points. And their primary attack is that the apostasia cannot mean physical departure. But Andy Woods just defeats that with his own scholarship. And so none of the scholars that I've seen answer Andy Woods. It's context, grammar, and word meaning. Once you have those 3, case closed. Context and grammar really demand that it be physical departure. And of course, the Paul says you're not to be soon shaken. And so I just wanted to say that you have to come in and say, no, the context doesn't support that, and you have to make your case. Or you have to come in and say, no, the definite article should be interpreted this way. You have to answer these arguments. You just can't. Now, you could bring another expert in, and if that expert answered these arguments, that would be one thing. But if they don't answer the argument, if they just say, look, I'm a Greek expert, and this word cannot mean that. Well, Liddell and Scott, I mean, you argue back and forth, but if you really deal with Andy Wood's arguments, they cannot be refuted. Okay, enough of that. I put links into to Andy Reid's number 18, and then also I'm going to put an additional attachment of my own 4-page deal. If you haven't gotten that already, or if you forgot about it, you can download it. Hey, God bless.